Yes, yeah, based in Mumbai, Prabhu. Yes, although travel चलता रहता है काफी. I'm from IIT Bombay only, ना.
हाँ, हम मिले थे ना मंदिर में आपसे
हाँ हाँ, तभी तो
शायद.
मिले थे. यस यस.
हाँ.
Yes, yeah, based in Mumbai. आपका कैमरा है?
हाँ, एक
Just
one
doing a general YouTube recording, not to share with the others.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Rajesh Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु, हरे कृष्ण, तन्मत प्रणाम. हरे कृष्ण
जय धर्म
प्रभु,
प्रभु,
विकास
जय हो.
प्रभु.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु, हरे कृष्ण.
Okay, let's see who else. Or Aviral Prabhu is joining.
I think he's on
How you
mute.
pronounce your name, Aviral Prabhuji? Oh yeah, Aviral Prabhu, I met you, na? I didn't know you. आप म्यूट पे रहे.
प्रभु जी, जिसका आपने YouTube भेजा था ना, एक बुक जो आप स्लाइड कर रहे हो शायद, उसका ISBN नंबर, वो बड़ी सुंदर बुक है, उसका ISBN नंबर
बहुत सुंदर है
भेजेंगे
उसका
आप?
ISBN नंबर. या
हाँ.
हाँ, वो ही है प्रभु जी. एक जबरदस्त, मतलब वी आर लाइक उस बुक में एक्चुअली. अगर आप लोग गौरांग प्रभु को जानते हैं?
गौरंग प्रभु, हाँ हाँ हाँ, आपके जो मुंबई के, हाँ, ऑफ कोर्स ऑफ कोर्स.
हाँ, ये एक्चुअली आई विल जस्ट.
इट्स बिट हेजी एक्चुअली ऑन द कैमरा, ठीक से दिख
हाँ,
नहीं
मैं
रहा.
क्योंकि वो ब्लर माय बैकग्राउंड वाला है.
हाँ.
अब मेरा एक्चुअली यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा लाइट का एक इश्यू है. द सेम बुक है. इसमें गौरांग प्रभु का वो भी है,
ओके.
फॉरवर्ड भी है, एंड पीपल हु सपोर्टेड इट एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, उन लोग का नाम भी है. सो दिस
अच्छा.
काइंड ऑफ बुक एक्चुअली इट्स अ रियली नाइस कॉफी टेबल बुक आल्सो. So this is, and we are trying to now do that for Tirupati, and we'll do that for some others. So this will be one of the key things which we are then present this book to the government officials, to more HNIs, etc., and all that. So that Aviral Prabhu, oh sorry, Gaurav Prabhu. Why was it Aviral? Okay, Aviral was your
my son's name.
Oh, okay, right.
I'm on his computer.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, yeah. All right, wonderful. Okay, so should we?
I think we should start.
We just get started. Yeah, let's see. Whoever else will join will join. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe briefly just to introduce my own self. Again, I think I obviously have met Gaurav Prabhu and Vikas Prabhu. I've been a disciple of Rajesh Prabhu for a long time now, so he knows me very well. So, but okay, who has joined? Arpit Prabhu also is joining. That's good. Yeah. Arpit Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Will be great to see you also. Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah, so we'll just keep this a friendly discussion over the next hour. Okay, I'll just briefly share about myself. People can share about them, and then just about the work that we are doing and how we can work together further in that. So, Balram Leela is my name. Legal name is Anurag Parikh. I was been graduate from IIT Bombay since joined from 93 to 98. Actually, I think 1 year junior to Rajesh Prabhu. We were like, but we never met there, right? So,
Yeah.
1 year junior, right, Rajesh Prabhu? 1 year junior.
I was 1994. So I think we...
No, not 1 year, sorry. 3 years junior.
Yeah.
90 to 94. He was 90 to 94. I was 93 to 98, not because I failed 1 year, but because I did a... I have to clarify that. Because 93 to 98 because I did a 5-year integrated course. I forgot which engineering I did it in, but no, it's a serious thing actually. People take it as a joke or something, but I will stretch myself. I mean, I can remember it.
तो
But
में से कोई भी काम कर रहा है जिसने जो इंजीनियरिंग की थी आज से कोई भी
हमारे बैच में I think 90%. I think 90% are not. Definitely, Rajesh Prabhu doesn't remember what he did. He pretends he remembers, but he also doesn't remember. So
कुछ
there are
chemical
so many
था.
like that. More than 90% are like that, actually. So literally more than 90%. I think even people who joined out of the class of 50, I remember, I think 5 people took a chemical engineering job. 5.
I am unfortunately in the same sector.
Unfortunately. You're calling
So I'm
unfortunately.
also from IIT Bombay. So we share the same alma mater, and I did chemical engineering, and I'm in energy sector still.
Oh, okay, good. Very nice.
but you're doing consulting not in
Consulting,
energy.
yeah.
Oh, well, at least he's doing in that kind of an area. Huh? Yeah. So I did the 5 year, and then I did couple of years. I worked in Bombay, in software. Obviously, that was .com boom. So you're not getting job anywhere else, and here you were getting at least 4 jobs without knowing anything about about what you're doing. that was the .com boom. And then to 2000, I went to the US. I had 4 jobs in my hand without knowing much, as I said, at all. I was in California and then in Seattle, primarily most of the time. And in 2002, I got connected with ISKCON and then connected with the Bhagavad Gita, etc. And gradually, that definitely blew my mind away, at least gradually in some way, as to what it brings in terms of education and why none of this actually exists in any way, shape, or form in our education system at all. And so I was teaching it significantly since 2005 onwards till about 2016 that I was there. So I was teaching it extensively. We started also what we called as a Vedic university. It wasn't a university, but we are teaching a lot of different types of courses and seminars to the likes of places like Microsoft, etc., through the temple, but a variety of different subjects from Vedic perspective, whether it was management or any other skills or cooking or these or other things other than the Bhagavad Gita also. So I was interested in doing that kind of stuff there too. And then into the end of 2016, moved to India. And there I then basically got in touch with I had been in touch with Gauranga Prabhu before that. And essentially in 2015, I quit my software job. And because the idea was, I was thinking we had enough in terms of in terms of financially, I was reasonably comfortable. And I wanted to see if we can spend more time in giving to this particular mission of teaching this education. And so sometime after quitting, I was in America. But then in end of 2016, I moved to India. And then since then, primarily under the guidance of Gauranga Prabhu, then got connected with Bhaktivedanta Research Center, which was this specific program for working on bringing this ancient wisdom to saving the ancient manuscripts and also bringing this back into our education system, mainstream education system. So I've been primarily dedicating almost all of my time and energy to this. I do some of little executive coaching on the side on effective communication, which is, I call this charismatic talks, but I spend only a tiny bit of time on this. But anybody is interested in this, I can share about that also later. In fact, Rajesh Prabhu and I are connected in that regard too. So I do executive coaching on effective communication based on the science of Bhagavad Gita, etc. also. But my primary time and energy is going into the Bhaktivedanta Research Center. So, I will, in today's session, we'll be happy to share somewhat more about that. And now happy to share something from all of you also about your quick background, and then we can share about the BRC.
Prabhuji, I think better you share, because if all of us take introduction time, it will.
But at least one minute you can just little bit you can speak so that at least I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much maybe, but not like minutes, but at least a quick idea.
Yeah, I'm Gaurav Goyal from IIT Delhi, 96 batch. Actually, I came in contact with the Prabhupada's teaching in IIT itself. So
Yeah, so you're way senior.
no. But I'm not that serious. So I was never serious. So yeah, here I am. So I've been in UK since 2003. So now live near to Mandir.
Yes, wonderful. Yeah, we met, yeah. Vikas Prabhu, Arpit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So I'm not IITian. I have a degree in psychology and then masters in information technology. But I have been associated with ISKCON, not like as much as you guys, just from last probably 2 years or something like that. But before that, I was more of a visitor to the temple, then gradually got into, getting insight into it, taking it seriously, more of a self-realization and so on. So yeah, and I'm in London from last 17, 18 years. So yeah, so that's about me. I'm from Delhi actually. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for taking out the time today.
Cheers.
Hare Krishna. So about me, I'm from IIT Bombay 2008-2012 batch, and I was lucky that I got in touch with ISKCON from my first year. So Gopinath Chandra Prabhu and Gaurang Prabhu. You know Gopinath Chandra Prabhu?
Gopinath Chandra. Yeah, I know both of them.
Yeah. So I started my journey with that. It was a bit on and off, but I have always been in touch with Gopinath Chandra Prabhu, and that has kept me in the journey. And now, when the family conditions are also quite conducive, I'm trying to progress faster in this.
Oh, wonderful, amazing. So you go to the manor also. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Gopinath Chandra Prabhu preaches in IIT? I didn't know that. I wasn't sure.
He used to. After that, Avatar Leela Prabhu started coming. So, yeah. Now
Okay.
Gopinath Chandra Prabhu is more focusing on the corporates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay, Jai, very good. Thank you so much again for participating. So yeah, I will just, I already shared some of that. I don't know if I just to quickly know also, did anybody get a chance to look at some of the stuff I was just sharing on the group? I had done a session in the temple also, doing a Bhagavatam class. Sector, just checking if anybody had a chance to look at any of this, any of it.
Was the video you had shared partly but not fully?
Okay, partly you did, right? Partly somewhat. Okay. Right. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, somewhat then. Okay, so I'll just, as I said, briefly go through what we are doing. See, this is not really the idea. Is that group of good, very intellectual, smart, successful people here on this call, and the idea is that if I want to share about this particular mission that we are doing, not just for your own selves, obviously, but also that you could you could help in how you could help us connect with others also, because this mission, as you will gradually see, is actually a way to save the wisdom at a much broader scale, and it's beyond the boundaries of just an institution like ISKCON, although ISKCON will be obviously supporting this anyway, but it is beyond those boundaries. It is not just a temple. So it gives us the opportunity to actually connect with a much broader level of audience who may be interested in saving ancient wisdom and ancient culture, the heritage which India brings in, which has been getting lost and is in a serious danger of getting lost. So keep that in mind as you're growing to this, that you can also think of others who may want to know about this and participate in any way to take this forward. Yes. So it won't be a regular temple presentation in that way. And that's what I mentioned this in the very first slide also, that we see in in ISKCON, we have Prabhupada's books. You can say Prabhupada's books is the start, but then Prabhupada's books are based on the books of the other acharyas. Then that's based on larger Gaudiya Vaishnava literature, which is based on larger Vaishnava literature. That's based on larger Vedic set of literature, right? The idea of what we are talking about today is that we will have to preserve this entire pyramid, and not just what we are referring to in terms of the 80 books of Srila Prabhupada, which are obviously covering the essence of it. But to preserve, Prabhupada's legacy, etc., for a longer term, we need to preserve the entire and bring forth the entire ancient knowledge system, the Vedic knowledge system, to this. So, as you maybe briefly talked about it at that time also, we have all a common crying and dying mother, and that is the scriptures. All the people, all the kids around it are like all of us. The scriptures, the ancient wisdom of our crying and dying mother is in a very pathetic shape. Example, the Nalanda University was burnt about 1,000 years ago, completely burnt to ashes. 9 million manuscripts being totally burnt. It had 10,000 students, it has 2,000 teachers. This is recorded in world history to have been burnt. And 3 years after this, 1209 AD, is when another university was actually born, and that was the Cambridge University, where all of you are staying. And now Cambridge is among the top university in the world, and Nalanda hardly exists. It just barely exists, actually. And this, just one example, is an epitome of the fact that India was so much before, was actually a complete a central place for education, for wisdom, across all kinds of branches of knowledge. And that was deliberately, literally burnt, or somehow or other removed from the education system, because of which it hardly exists in India also now. That's the problem. So, and obviously then 200 years ago, the Britishers actually
But Prabhuji, Nalanda was a Buddhist university, isn't it?
Yeah, it later actually, so in India also things changed, right? Because previously what was more of a, and we talked about this when you were there also.
Yeah.
It was Vedic, and then Shankaracharya came, and then Shankaracharya, was literally drove most of the Buddhism out of it, but still the Buddhism effect has continued in places like Nalanda, although it had a lot of Ayurveda, this and so many other things also. In fact, the history of why Nalanda got burnt was because of its, with the Ayurveda, its Ayurvedic knowledge was utilized to cure this Bhaktiar Khilji.
Mm-hmm.
And he, instead of being grateful for that, for his life being saved, became envious of the fact that, how they have knowledge which nobody else has. And that's why he burned. So a lot of Ayurvedic history was also there.
Who got envious? I missed it.
Sorry?
Who got envious, you're saying? Who?
This person, Bhaktiar Khilji. So I not mentioned it here because of lack of, but the person who had actually burnt it was the invader called Bhaktiar Khilji in 1206 AD.
So is it then the Khilji clan, basically? Alauddin Khilji's predecessor or successor?
Yeah, that I'm not sure actually if he's connected to him, but his name is Bhaktiar Khilji. So he essentially invaded the whole place, and then he burnt the university also. But the story goes that he was extremely sick, and he got cured by one of the Ayurvedic masters there, based on the Ayurvedic treatment that was found in the university's manuscripts. But instead of being grateful for that, he got the idea that these guys have such knowledge which is beyond anything other. He actually burnt it. So that's the kind of a treatment. In fact, one of the books we are coming up with, also, on Madan Mohan shows that, all of this has been happening. We know this very well. And that later in Aurangzeb's time, he didn't just burn, so many times the temples and etc. have been, demolished and burned. And Aurangzeb's time, he even named Vrindavan to Mominabad, and he named Mathura to Islamabad. So there have been attempts to deliberately remove. In fact, the deities, it is mentioned in history, used to be put in the under the ground under the steps of the mosques. so that the people who were coming there would actually step on them. I mean, it was so pretty, that was the kind of very deliberate attempt being made. Now, a lot of that was done during the Mughal, but at the same time, even the Britishers actually did even a worse impact, because at least the complete education system was not removed, even if in some cases like these universities were burnt, etc. But the Britishers actually deliberately, very intelligently removed the ancient knowledge system from the education system. That's something which had a much more worse effect, to the extent that none of us actually studied anything about all of this. As you can see here, he's saying, I would stop the printing of Arabic and Sanskrit. I have advanced. I have never found one among them who could deny that a single shelf of a good European library was worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia. He really demeaned the entire ancient knowledge system. And so that's what happened actually. And even now, out of 10 million manuscripts in India, 96.7% are on the verge of extinction. These are pictures taken by our own team going to Bangladesh, other parts of temples and other places, etc. You can see so many manuscripts being actually have been destroyed. And you just look at one tradition, the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, which ISKCON falls in. Out of 700 books, 316 books have been lost, and only 238 discovered, and only 142, that is only 1/3 of them even been translated. And so a lot of this kind of work we are also trying to get into. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books, we see so many books which have been actually lost and have not been found. Such is the pathetic condition of this. And the knowledge system, as we know, is very ancient and most comprehensive. It's the oldest knowledge system, it's the deepest knowledge system, and it's the most comprehensive. It's the widest knowledge system also. In fact, Jiva Goswami mentions that it is the widest knowledge system. That's why we follow it. Right. So here this is just giving you an idea. Many people would not have seen even this. With the Shruti, we have the Vedas and Upavedas and Vedangas. And this is not a comprehensive, tabular system also. There is much more which is there. In fact, I was showing it to some other devotee. He said he can revise this stuff to include even many more things, actually. But all of these things, so many different things are there, including music, dance, drama, and Jyotish, and Vyakaran, and that is grammar and dictionary, etc. like that. And then yoga is just one tiny part of this. One tiny part of this is actually yoga, like that. And then there is logic, which is Nyaya, and all of those things. So the system is extremely wide. It is so profound. And just the example of yoga and Ayurveda itself tells us that this is just yoga taking over the health and fitness clubs just in US, and Ayurveda increasing so rapidly also, and now so many books coming on even leadership and management, etc., based on all ancient wisdom. So we can see just by this example that the knowledge is very profound. And that's what I was talking about. This thing is not about just to share with ISKCON devotees or people who are just very devoutly spiritual, but even people otherwise would now cannot really deny the fact of how ancient wisdom has brought so much great value in different aspects of life. And that is why this is now our duty, in order to spread this message far and wide, how we need to revive the system. Does that make sense to everybody? That's what I was stressing at the very start. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. And so that's the Bhaktivedanta Research Center. So yeah, you can chime in with your ha ha, or whatever also in between, as you would like to in between. So we know that folks are there. So that's the Bhaktivedanta Research Center. We are reviving this Vedic wisdom globally, supporting this, become the base of this thing, so that India, now it's not just about India shining, so the whole world should get this message. Whole world should get this message, so that the knowledge can be actually revived. And now giving you some examples of what even how our acharyas actually wanted this, and what BRC has been doing. This is the statement from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the guru of Srila Prabhupada. He's saying, if I cannot complete the Encyclopedia of Vaishnavism for this alone, I'll come back to the material world to complete it. He was willing to take Punarjanma for this particular process of creating an Encyclopedia of Vaishnavism. And he had a separate building for it. You can see here, this is the letterhead of his Gaudiya Math, where there's a separate building, 10 Ultadangi Junction Road. which had a Gaudiya Math library and an office of the Manjusha, that is of the encyclopedia. So this shows that how important was it for him to have a library and a research center, that he had a separate, and we have identified this building also. And but what happened in 1920, he made the statement, I will even take Punarjarman if it doesn't get completed. The funding was withdrawn, the project could not be completed completely as he would have wanted it. So then that's how he actually, a day before he leaves the world, 16 years later, because the project could not be completed comprehensively, it was a day before he was about to just leave the world. He dictates his last will, and the first item he dictates on his last will is Sundarananda to edit Manjusha. His disciple Sundarananda, chief editor, he said, please complete that Manjusha. So by this you can see that it was the most important thing in his mind, because he mentions as the first item on his last will, please complete the Encyclopedia of Vaishnavism. And so BRC has taken up this task. It is completing later on, one of the devotees actually had completed a Bengali encyclopedia from 1936 onwards till 1956, where he created an encyclopedia of 1600 saints, small biography. And then he also completed, for the more than 1,000 plus holy places, more than 750 plus books, and then more than 19,000 words of Sanskrit and vernacular languages being used. He created an encyclopedia of that, but only in Bengali. So we are working to create a scholarly translation of this. And the first one will be just 1600 Gaudiya Vaishnava saints information. Okay, and under the guidance of Dr. Abhishek Bose, who is the head of department of comparative Indian language and literature at the University of Calcutta. Yeah, so you can see we have been doing this project. We have spent more than 25,000. The budget will be more than 25,000 pounds for just this particular project. And as you will see throughout this thing, we are like the worst businessmen, in the world, because we spend all of this money and we make nothing. Because even all of these books, etc., which will get published, the money goes to the publisher, the money goes to the author, etc. And we just work on facilitating it, in order to do this. And in fact, we ourselves also support it. I myself contribute at least 5,000 pounds every year for all of these various different kinds of projects, and work on an honorary basis here. So this is our primary project, which we are doing here, the Vaishnava Encyclopedia. And that's one of the more than 40 plus projects that we are doing. Then you will see here in 1896, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who is in the lineage, at least 3 generations before Srila Prabhupada, he actually in 1896 sent the first ever book to the Munich University, Germany, an English book on Gaudiya Vaishnavism, where he said, you can see here in 1896, this letter he has sent to Munich University, Germany. But he very interestingly doesn't just send the book. He also says, if kindly send me a copy of your rules and regulations of obtaining the degrees of your university. So this is very interesting. You can see, and while he signs, he writes his academic degree. Kedarnath Dutt was his name, legal name, and his initiated name was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Kedarnath Dutt MA, he writes his academic degree here. So that way we can understand how in 1896 he had the vision that we need to be able to get into the Western academia, right? Otherwise, we will not be able, this wisdom is not going to be able to survive. And his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in 1931, establishes this building, Thakur Bhaktivinoda Research Institute, in Shridham, Mayapur, which is an academic research center, an academic institute. He was the president, and he had these academic degrees, BA and MA, listed here, as you can see, of all of his members of that group, who are his disciples. So that way you can see he also started an institute at that time. And in fact, he sent his disciple to the SOAS, University of London, right? So all of this work has a lot of connection, actually, as we can see, with the Britishers. And so that's why in this thing also it becomes very important. As you can see that, and you can even go to SOAS website right now, and you will be able to see, if you search for Sambhidananda Das, the history and literature of the Gaudiya Vaishnava and their relation to the other medieval Vaishnava schools, PhD thesis done in 1935. This was in the physical presence of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. that he completed this thesis. Yeah. So you can see he sent his disciple not to preach there, but also to do a PhD on history of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Like that. And that PhD never got properly completed. So we are completing this. And we are editing this and properly publishing it, volume 1, 2, and 3, the history of Gaudiya Vaishnavism before, during, and after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So hope that connects with you. And then I will just quickly share, you see this, even Prabhupada here talking about, I will just share my, share my screen with the audio. You can hear this Prabhupada speaking this thing. You can see here actually Prabhupada talking about that he wants to affiliate with the
degree recognized by the state of California, so they can teach in universities all over the whole country.
That I want. Do it.
Yes.
We want to give degrees, at least BA, MA, and PhD, according to the advancement of knowledge.
And we can become a member of this Graduate Theological Union. I've been working with Dr. Judah for about 1 year, and we've talked about this before, and he said that he'll sponsor us.
So I shall take it.
Yes.
We wanted to connect to all the universities you can see all over the world.
Srila Prabhupada, in Mayapur, you were speaking about you wanted Mayapur to become a college with the University of Calcutta.
Why Mayapur? Everywhere. The whole educational system should be changed.
We should take
Not
it over.
change, at least this will remain as a departmental knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see. So this is our Mahavakya actually, that it should become like a departmental knowledge in every university. So we do have the Oxford Center for Hindu Studies there, which has obviously done a great job over the last 25 years. But other than that, it has been very limited actually, how it has happened. But Prabhupada wanted all of these things to happen. So these are the 6 pillars in which we act: collect, preserve, exhibit, research, publish, and teach. Shastro ka sangrahan, sanrakshan, pradarsan, anusandhan, prakashan, or sikshan. Right? These are the 6 pillars by which we serve the Shastras. As you can see, we have collected so many manuscripts from across the world, so many books and journals, thousands of books, thousands of journals, with both physical and digitally preserved, exhibitions happening, more than actually now 40 plus research projects, academic conferences, so many books being published, and then, master's degrees programs and students, etc. So that's the Shastra Mandir, which is there. This is our primary building in Calcutta. By the way, come there, stay with us. We have a building not just in Calcutta, but we are also in Mumbai, Pune, Puri. Now we are trying to do some work in London also, etc. That you will see. This is the inauguration of that building. Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Bhakti Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Harishwari Prabhu, Jananivas Prabhu, all of that you see. And this is the project which has been appreciated primarily by the Governing Body Commission of ISKCON. As I said, it's not actually a project that is restricted to ISKCON in any way, but ISKCON is supporting it from the background, and then we are connecting with so many people, both in the academia as well as other spiritual other institutions worldwide. But it is being appreciated as a global project, as a library, research center, and academic institute serving ISKCON globally, based in Mumbai, Pune, Kolkata, Vrindavan, Puri, and also we have a place in New York now, and now, as I said, also in London, affiliated to University of Mumbai, University of Pune, and MOUs with a variety of different institutes, including Oxford Center for Hindu Studies, Bar-Ilan University in Israel, in USA, other places, etc. Then in Mumbai, in Pune, and in national universities, various publishers, etc. And you can see, so there are just a few pictures, different institutes that we are connecting with, books that we are publishing, etc., and different institutes that we are doing our affiliations with, etc. Just some more pictures of all of the classes going on, etc. And how just during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, since the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how all of this work has been happening. Mahaprabhu himself was collecting manuscripts. He instructed his disciple Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, etc., to do major research and study, collect all of these different manuscripts, etc. Jiva Goswami had a library of his own. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was searching for a Chaitanya Charitamrita for over 8 years. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also, as we talked about, how sent his disciples for studies, etc. And then coming to research, Mahaprabhu was a big research scholar himself, as we know, Nimai Pandit. Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami were also huge research scholars. And we also have Jiva Goswami wrote more than 500,000 Sanskrit verses. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was a big scholar also. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, as we know, when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we all talk about their examples. And then even Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Bhakti Prabhupada's disciple, also doing his PhD, etc. like that. So just within this tradition itself, and obviously in other traditions also, across Vedic tradition, there has been work done to preserve, do all of these different aspects of the collection, preserve and exhibition and research, publication, teaching of all of these scriptures. And these are just a few quotes from various, current leaders from the ISKCON society, but then there are also from various other academic institutions also who are greatly appreciating, as you can see, all of this work. So extraordinarily important, anything, beyond anything I can dream of what has been done. It's a massive undertaking like the TOVP. Jayapataka Maharaj said, I don't know how long I'll be here, but I am for you, like that, So many other very, very senior people who have said that this project is extremely, extremely important. So that is why we are. So this is our manuscript mission. Here Prabhupada is visiting another Bhaktivinoda Thakur's birthplace and talking about how we need to preserve all of this for future generations of Vaishnavas to see the actual handwriting and words of such great saintly people. We need to treat this matter very seriously and thoroughly. What is at expense? Here we can see we are showing these rare manuscripts to Radhanath Maharaj. We have gone to so many places across India, Bangladesh, so many other places in order to preserve this literature. So many different books have been preserved. We provide these books to various publishers, various academic institutions so that they can be published, including this, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, etc. have also been provided various of these manuscripts. These are tree bark manuscripts, handmade paper manuscripts, or tal patra, palm leaf manuscripts, as is being said. These are, some examples, some of the manuscripts where we have physically saved, as you can see, but they are in a very pathetic condition. This is in Gaurangatol Mandir, Navadip. You can see the manuscripts being saved, more than 500-year-old manuscript with the handwriting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So we have not just physically saved it, digitally saved it, engraved it on zinc plates. And this is actually said to be what is at the top. They said to be Mahaprabhu's handwriting. And this is said to be Garadhar Pandit's handwriting. Like that. So we have tried to save them, our team working on preserving all of this. This is a school in Bangladesh that you can see, which has over now, just look at all of these conditions. This is a Hindu school in Bangladesh. You never know when, either deliberately or unintentionally, all these things will get destroyed or just getting decayed and destroyed. So this is more than 9,000 plus manuscripts. Just look at this. So we have already visited Bangladesh twice, and we are working on digitizing more stuff there now and going there more as soon as we can possibly. So you can see the condition is very pathetic. The call is very urgent in order to save these things as much as possible. Okay. So whatever we can do in order to support this, right, that will go a long way, because all of this obviously requires some level of support. But once these books are saved, later on they can be utilized in so many different ways, as you can see. So this is in various other places in within India. Look at the condition again of these manuscripts. I'm just showing you a sample. We have a huge, a book itself, a huge report of the manuscript work that we have done. So, and then we provided to the likes of Dr. Mans Bru Bhrugupad Prabhu in Finland, who did a critical edition of Hari Bhakti Vilas. So we provided him manuscripts from Asiatic Society of Bengal, of Kolkata actually. So this is the specific manuscript that we provided him. So you can see it's not just preservation of this manuscripts, my dear friends. It's about providing these things also to so many, scholars and institutions and publishers and all of that. All of this knowledge really comes back to the system. And then we try to physically preserve. So this is Bhakti Saraswati Thakur's library personally, more than a century-old library, which is there. As I said, this library used to exist in a separate building over 100 years ago. And now, after a lot of hard work, it has finally come to us after 100 years, literally. And so, or just about 100 years, let's say. This is the, a picture of that, the library, as you can see, in which there are more than 100,000 pages of, more than 2,000 books and more than 100,000 pages of academic journals, which are there. And this is just one journal, Dainik Nadiya Prakash. This Nadia Prakash was the daily newspaper which was published by Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, 1927 to 97 with 47, with 5,000 issues, 8 pages per issue, 40,000 plus pages. Okay, so you can see the. I hope everybody is with me and you fasten your seatbelt because I'm going very fast in order so I can complete as much as I all of this stuff. But you have muted yourself, so I won't hear your snoring. But I hope you're not snoring. Okay, so if
No,
you
this
are
is
with
quite
me,
rich.
yeah, if you are with me, we can
Yes,
go at
Prabhuji.
higher speed. Okay, so keep saying your like that'll be nice. Okay, so that's the 40,000 plus pages which are there. The condition was very pathetic, as you can see. Remember, knowledge once getting destroyed, gets destroyed forever. Even a cow can be born again, and not the same cow, but another cow of the same species can be born again, right? The temples, even the deities can be made again. The Shastra once gone, that particular edition of the Shastra is gone, and you don't know what unique was got lost in that. Okay, so we digitize all of these things. We physically laminate all of these things, right? We so on this particular project itself, we may have spent more than 25,000 pounds, actually, like that. So every bit basically counts in order to save this. So look at this. What would have just got destroyed forever is now being saved in this way. What you see on the right side.
So, Prabhuji, are we discovering something new knowledge from these scripts, or is it just a manuscript we are discovering? Or something which is not known?
Prabhu, unless you see it, you don't know what it has, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You see this point. But unless you open it, you don't know what is there in that. And another point to note is, even if it's the same book that we know, they are in the world of humanities. We are all coming from engineering, so we typically have not much clue of this, right? In the world of humanities, one of their primary works is to study ancient literature and to create what is called as a critical edition of ancient literature. Because what happens is, ancient literature, how they were how do we have the Bhagavad Gita that we have right now? How do we have it? It was there since, time immemorial, or even in known history for thousands of years it has been there, right? And we know from Bhagavad Gita, it probably has been there in oral tradition or in written tradition for millions of years, or like that, right? How do we have it? Because it was orally, transmitted, and then it was written down. But how it was written down? There was no published. There was no printing press. So scribes used to copy it. That's how knowledge has been transmitted. The tribes would copy it. One scribe will copy. So there were people who were just scribes. They were not necessarily scholars.
Mm-hmm.
They will just copy what has already been written, and the next person will copy, next person will copy, like that. And it used to be a matter of pride for people to actually keep manuscripts with them. It was like what Ajkal, like if you have iPhone 11 or if you have a 70-inch TV or you are, that's considered to be a high thing, right? A status symbol. Previously, if you had manuscripts, that was like a status symbol, actually. So this is but what happens when you copy? When you copy, either intentionally or unintentionally, mistakes happen. And that's why now you have so many different versions of one book with some different texts. So
but
people
are we going back
to create what is called as critical editions.
Is it only the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature, or are we?
No, we are looking at others also.
Original Vedic literature as well.
Yeah. We are looking at others also. Yes, that's the point. Because obviously, because we have formed that tradition,
does
a lot of
include Upanishad or
Okay. Yeah. Just like I showed you that book of Kanchipuram. I put it on that group, the Kanchipuram book. That is from South India, Kanchipuram, the Temple Town Spiritual Tourist Guide book, based on all Vedic literature, right? So we are focusing on the broader aspects. In fact, if there are aspects which touch other traditions, even beyond the Vedic tradition, but ancient wisdom, that also we are open to. We, in fact, in our library, we have Parsi books, we have Islamic books, we have Christian books, we have Buddhist books, we have so many different books as part of that.
So how old are these manuscripts generally? Like I can see Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition
is very
500 years
about
old.
500, typically you would rarely find a manuscript which is more than 500 years old.
Right,
That's almost It's about that time that the paper also started coming, by the way. That was towards the end of the later part of the life of Jiva Goswami. That the paper started coming. And prior to that was primarily palm leaf, tree bark, etc. Those were the primary ones. Primarily, sometimes people write on cloth also, obviously. But, like we have a Bhagavata manuscript which is written on cloth. Actually, it's written on cloth. Yeah, you come to Kolkata. You have to come to Kolkata for that. It is waiting for your touch.
And written by whom? I mean, how old is it?
Because it was already this thing, we don't know the exact age, but typical, as I told you, is 200 to 300 years old. That's most common.
Basically a copy, basically.
Yeah, copies.
Yeah.
They're all copies, It's like the first time it is mentioned that Bhagavad Gita and Vedic literature was jotted down was 5,000 years ago. That was Ved Vyas. It's actually mentioned in Bhagavatam. That was the first time he divided the one Veda into 4 and wrote it down. Because he knew that the memories of the people were going to go down. And now the oral tradition cannot continue. It has to be written. Previously, previous to that, it was written. It was oral only. Like that. So this is one example. Now I will tell you how we are creating digital libraries also of these. And with the likes of Oxford Center for Hindu Studies and making searchable Bengali text or, literally searchable vernacular text, basically. So that kind of high-level technology work is also happening in that sense. This is just some other examples from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's birthplace, where, there's just some tests being done on that paper regarding the acidity, alkalinity of the paper. Trimming and encapsulation is another type. And this is lamination, this is encapsulation of them. And about 118 works were preserved there. Some from Gauranga Prabhu, as you can see here. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writings, etc. Gaur Aarti, the original Gaur Aarti, which is sung in all the ISKCON temples or Gaudiya Vaishnava temples across the world. We have that. Original picture of Jagannatha. This is the library in Kolkata. At this moment, just getting renovated, actually. So we are just about emptying out all of the books, and then we'll be completely renovating the place and then bringing back the books here. This is another big library in Mumbai, David Haberman's library, which is there, more than 2,000 plus books of ancient literature, primarily philosophy. Then we digitize also, create digital libraries of different sampradayas, aspects, etc. Scanning, optical character recognition, etc. Again, with the likes of so many top universities like Stockholm University, University of Mumbai, Calcutta University, and various other technology partners, etc. And these are letters from the likes of Scottish Church College, which was Prabhupada's college. We are digitizing their library. Letter from there. Then Gaudiya Mission, Bagbazar Gaudiya Math of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the century-old institution. We are digitizing their library. St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, digitizing part of their library. All of this we do free of cost for them, and we bear the cost, essentially, with the support of all wonderful people like your good selves, etc. That we basically work on doing all of this this work of preserving all of this knowledge. Then this is Gaudiya Vaishnava Journals Digital Library. This is this is a website by Government of India called Ministry of Culture on preserving and creating a searchable Bengali, all the texts of Rabindranath Tagore, all the writings of Rabindranath Tagore. We are utilizing the same thing for Gaudiya Vaishnava journals of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, etc. So that website is coming in collaboration with Jadavpur University and Oxford Center for Hindu Studies. So this is another one. Searchable vernacular text will be done. This is the ancient system of logic, Navya Nyaya of Navadvip. We have created a digital library of that called Darshan Manisha. This was inaugurated by Professor Jonathan Ganeri from Canada and covered by ABP News, seen by millions of people in India. This is what the library looks like, the digital library. Once you click on any book, you can see the metadata of the book. Then you can see, as a flip book, you can read the entire book like that. So that way you can be sitting in London and having access to all of these things. So we are trying to make it relevant, useful for everybody, not that you're obviously required to come. And we'll try to make this available free for everybody. Is that a good thing? Make it available free as much as possible, searchable, state-of-the-art digital libraries for people, right? And then we are doing exhibitions like we did in London also. of all of these various literary artifacts. We do exhibitions of them at various places, as you can see. And then, obviously, as I said, more than 40 plus research projects are happening. And with the likes of scholars like, as you can see, Dr. Ferdinando Sardella from Stockholm University, Graham Schweg from GTU, Berkeley, USA, or David Haberman, Indiana University, USA, OCHX, Oxford Center for Hindu Studies, Radhika Raman Prabhu, Dr. Ravi Gupta from Utah State University, Calcutta University, Mumbai University, Abu Academy, Finland. So hope you guys get this idea, especially because you have yourself studied in, IITs or other prominent institutions, that you will see that we are working with the top academic institutions and scholars worldwide. This is the unique aspect of this thing. If we were not doing that, then we were just doing other studies, just like is happening in the temples anyway. We are doing this, all of these 6 pillars in the latest and greatest ways. That is the idea. And so many research assistants who are working with us also. This is the book Swalikita Jivani, which was there. It was published in it actually came in
ঔপনিবেশিক শাসনকালে বাংলায় বৈষ্ণব ধর্মের পুনরুত্থানে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা নিয়েছিলেন শ্রী কেদারনাথ দত্ত ভক্তি বিনোদ ঠাকুর। এবার তার স্বলিখিত জীবনী প্রকাশিত হলো।
বাংলার বিভিন্ন জেলায় কীর্তন ভিত্তিক নামহট্ট আন্দোলনের মাধ্যমে
So this was itself a 2-3 minute video on Doordarshan about how we launched the autobiography of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then in so many different media, if we presented it also, and came in newspapers, etc., like that. How the book became, this is in Facebook, etc., all of these places. This book was published, Prakriti Goswami from Indiana University. We helped her get a admission in Indiana University, and she published this book, which we are now looking, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj is looking to share it with Kokilaben Ambani of the Dhirubhai Ambani's fame. As you know, Dhirubhai Ambani is a good wife and the mother of Mukesh Ambani, the richest Indian in the world today. We are trying to present it to them also. So because they are from the Pushti Marg, from the, Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. So this is a book of Vallabhacharya Sampradaya from the, of Bhagavatam, as you can see. And this, as I had put it there, this book on Kanchipuram, if you see the 2-minute video there, which I had put in the group, which was, you can see it's super high quality, nicely illustrated tourist temple town guidebook from with information from the Vedic literature. And that's what, so if you are a tourist there, you can get all the information, Vedic literature, and all the architecture and rituals and festivals and everything about that temple town. So we did that for Kanchipuram. Now we're trying to do that for Tirupati. And now we'll do that for Maharashtra. We can do it for so many other places, etc. So, people can come forward to support. And what we do, we also give you then a name of yours in the acknowledgement for that particular book, like that. So it will show up as if for patrons who support this thing, we give the names that you have supported. So what will happen with such books? These books will help revive the holy places, because we'll present this to the government, we'll present this to other HNIs, etc., that now the book is there about this temple town. Let us also help in bringing that temple town into the latest and greatest, to its original glory. Actually, does that make sense to everybody? So this is how the books actually help revive the actual temples, the actual holy places, the actual culture also. Does that connect with everybody? You can say
no. I think it all connects. Obviously, a lot of good work being done. The question for this group is more, how can we all support this? Obviously, Prabhu is doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
really raising awareness.
Let me close within a couple of minutes, as I will just. This is another book which has come out, Madan Mohan, which is about temple architecture, 500-year history of Madan Mohan. This book is just about coming out. It will be there during the Yatra of Radhanath Maharaj here, which is happening in just within a few weeks. So this book will be there. There are a book on rituals by Rupa Goswami, another book on Uttatanga, and there are 40 plus such projects happening. I'm saying biography of Bhakti Sansoi Thakur. This is about Bhagavad. This is a hidden biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Raghuvamsam on Lord Ram. We are instituting awards in the names of our acharyas in their academic institutions. Prabhupada ke naam pe first time we are instituting an award in his name. Bhakti Sansri Thakur ke naam pe an award, Bhakti Vinod Thakur award in his name, in his college, like that. So 40 plus such projects I have listed down here right now, which is there. So this is just, I'm going through, we are doing everything. We are ISO certified, which is the best certification in India. We are tax exempt as a non-profit charity in India. Also in the US, we are. In the UK, not till now. That's something which may also, if we can work on later to have become like a charity in UK. We have supported by the governor of Maharashtra. We have also many entries in Wikipedia about the work that we have done. We have done a lot of academic conferences. As you can see, we help international scholars in Harvard, etc., officially to do their PhDs on ancient Indian wisdom. This is a student from Harvard. This is a student from University of Oxford we are helping with. We are also starting these programs on ancient wisdom and its application, as I said, entrepreneurship, efficiency, ethics, environment, emotions, and architecture, language, astrology, yoga, Ayurveda, all of ancient wisdom to be applied everywhere, and master's, PhD, certificate courses, etc. in all of these areas. Okay, and these are our guides. And PhDs, these are the examples of some of our PhD students doing PhD on things like Adhyatmic leadership. He's a professor actually he's a professor in IIM Indore. And he's doing a PhD with us on leadership, like that, and somebody's doing a PhD on relationships based on. So all of these things, this first person is a Marconi Award winner from Stanford University and IIT Bombay, Dr. Himanshu Asnani. He's doing a PhD with us. So this is what I'm trying to say, that the kind of work that is happening, and this is the different ways which are there essentially. And this basically completes this thing, but I'm telling you, I can share with all of you all of these different aspects also, which can be shared with many others too. How these different areas I've also divided these 40 plus areas into different things. Like we are reviving Kirtan, we are doing various projects on Lord Ram, various projects on Vrindavan, on ancient science, cosmology, etc. Then I said Temple Town guidebooks and Bhagavad Gita pe, etc. on our different acharyas. So people interested in any of these different things can actually come forward and support us. Other than obviously, as we come up with more courses, you can study them. You can help us in the library. You can help us in project management and other etc. You can help us spread the word to other people so that we can present this thing to other places also. So these are the different things.
The question for the group is it connecting with you guys?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
What do you guys think about it?
No, absolutely. This is quite, I think if we can support this, it would be really amazing. The thing I'm still unable to understand, like what, so under all these 40 projects, what specific, if you can explain a bit more, like how, what are the different activities where we can support?
Yeah, so I can tell you that quickly. One is obviously, as I told you, see, if you see this right now, a primary aspect is just even outreach and helping the projects to the support, because these projects actually do not really make any type of, as I told you, literally the worst business. We don't make any kind of, we don't make any income from any of these things, including even the sale of books. It all goes to the author and all of that. So I myself work on an honorary basis and support this project myself. I will be able to share this. So this is our, this is the summary budget of it. £250,000 is our summary budget of this over the next year and a half. Actually, you can, for each and every project in detail, all of this has been listed down. As you can see, all of these projects.
Are you sharing something? We can't see. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Okay,
You're not seeing? Yeah, I'm sharing.
I can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Each and every project we listed down. How much is the cost? This. I'm just telling you, these things are there. We are here in India. We are trying to do at this, like at a it's like maybe 1/20th of the cost that may be spent even in India, because a lot of us have actually do honorary work. here, and even the people who we work with, you won't believe it, we are paying people 3,000, 10,000, 15,000 rupees per month. That's not even 100 pounds a month or 150 pounds a month. We are trying to do it in a way, because people are also trying to do it as a seva. But we're still trying to do it with the top scholars and top universities in the world. So, so all of this also has been listed down. If anything comes forward in terms of, in terms of supporting this work, it first of all just goes a very, very long way. That itself is first of all there. There are schemes which are there, which is, as I told you, each of these projects, like museum projects, like, I want to go, going out to the collecting so many different thousands of manuscripts, digitizing those manuscripts, creating digital libraries of these manuscripts, searchable digital libraries of these manuscripts, and all of these. So any of these one specific areas could be supported by people, and we give naming rights to people that, okay, this project supported by this person, etc., and all of that. So that way people connect with it also, because see, I think many of us, including my own self, I was hardly realizing the fact that how much of the entire culture, entire tradition, and everything is based on wisdom. But we don't end up supporting the shastras and wisdom so much. We may support temples, which is also very good. We should support temples, we should support cows, we should support all of the different aspects of heritage. But all of this heritage, all of this wisdom is based on the wisdom underneath it. So a part of what we are doing, if it goes to support the wisdom, then everything else will follow. So we have these things where we support professor chair, student scholarship, museum exhibits, each of these research projects and publications. So just like I said, when this Kanchipuram book came out, this thing, in there we have already names of the people who support this book.
So Prabhu, then I think, so you have this scheme, right? So you can be a patron, right?
Yeah, so you could be a patron.
Or you can also help.
And by the way, I mean for everybody here to even share with others, because I am talking of a team here whom we know. So it's for yourself and also to, but obviously if you do something yourself, you share with others. It's like I'm myself a gold patron here. I support, I do honorary work and mostly almost full-time work, but I myself give 5,000 pounds every year for this thing. Like Shripati Prabhu is also a patron like that. Rajesh Prabhu is also contributing like that. So we are also contributing ourselves in this. If any of these you do, Rajesh Prabhu, as I was saying, then your name comes in a book, a specific book, which could be there in our upcoming books. Like we have right now a book coming on Bhakti in Vaishnava traditions, where we are taking all of these different traditions and publishing a scholarly, book on Bhakti, how it is been practiced for a long time by people across all the different Vedic Vaishnava traditions like that. So, this is done over the year. This is something like even, this one is like not even 80, 90 pounds a month if it's done over the year, and this is maybe, 160 pounds a month, like, $100, $200 like that a month like that, or this is like $500 a month like that. So these are some of the things which are there. If anything people would like to do.
So Prabhu, just to make it tangible for everyone, is this the way people can contribute, or the books are also separate? Is it if people want to support a specific book which is coming
up? What will happen is, if you want to support a specific book, that's what I'm saying. So you want to support a specific book, and that book will, as I said, we name those people that these are, you have supported this thing. That's not just for your name. It's the point is, you make a statement, your name goes in the book, and then when we share with people, we say, here is this person, and you can also share with others.
But that's a different scheme.
So it goes for that one specific book, your name as a patron. Yes.
No. So I get that. So that's for us. That's in addition. So this scheme which you're showing is more for sort of work.
No, this scheme is that. This scheme already is that.
Okay. Got
it. This scheme is that as a patron, when you support Bhaktivedanta Research Center, you can choose, as is mentioned here, any area where you would like to support. And then you're supporting that area, basically.
Got it.
You become a patron. Okay. You are a patron. You are the upholder for that project. Basically.
Got it.
That is how it is happening. Basically.
So I just want to check. Arpit Prabhu, is this clear?
Yep, got it.
We wanted to know how you can specifically support, right?
Yeah, actually I was thinking like apart from like is there some work related to some proper like working on those manuscripts or supporting from like uh, by going out in the universities, different
Yeah,
areas. So
definitely you could, if you, as I said, so you understood the 6 pillars, right?
yeah.
So if there is, if you have connections with universities, let us know. If you connections with people who have ancient books, let us know. If you yourself have ancient books, send it to us. I will share a video. One of my relatives donated a very ancient book his father had given to him. Brihat Srota Ratnakaraha was the name of the book. And just 2 days back, I was in Kolkata. I kept that book in the library. I'll share you with the video. So if you want to donate books, that's a Shastra Dan program. You can donate a book or connect us with people who want to donate books like that. If you want, we will come up with more courses. Also, if you're interested in doing later courses or any kind of studies yourself, then you can let us know and you could, you could enroll in those courses like that. And if you would, what else was there? Yeah, in London also, we will be doing later more exhibits, etc. So you could participate in helping us in some of that work, which Rajesh Prabhu and Shripati Prabhu and all are supporting. So, that's something which can be done also, which is there.
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking all these books which you are publishing.
Yes.
I mean, if they can be also be available in the bookstore here, right?
Absolutely,
so people can
100%.
also buy them there.
And in fact, Rajesh Prabhu, one of the things will be also, we will discuss with the Naveen Krishna Prabhu and all that to even set up a library there in some way.
Yeah, I mean,
setting up the library, we can provide guidance about that. We can provide guidance on books, provide some books, etc. Things like that.
So I mean, one way, I mean, once you have that facility, Arpit Prabhu, it could be that someone can sort of, be a representative here, sort of supporting.
Yeah.
Balram Leela Das, almost like a conduit, so to say, right? Because it's one thing, obviously, monetary support, but other thing is preaching as well, right? About this mission could also be something which could be a seva. Yeah, once the library is there.
As I said, I'm looking for this group. We have started this session, but if you can think of one person at least who you think would want to be interested in something like this, then, share the message with him. And if you would like, I also can talk to him if that's needed to. You yourself can talk to him. So at least each person can think of one person or any institute, others, etc. Anything and everything. Also, if you would like to give more time and energy to do some work in terms of project administration or etc. things like that, then you can let us know also. And because I do, let's say, bunch of project administration work here. If that's something that you would like to offer your time and energy and your skills in a certain way for that could be another option. And at least you can let us know, and then we can explore it. If in a certain area, certain project, etc., you can give some of your time, energy, and skills.
Prabhu, abhi time ho gaya. People might have to go as well, but I think we should discuss what could be the next steps here. I mean, any thoughts from anyone?
Any other thoughts from anyone? Anything concrete, specific anybody would like to say or would want to even in some way?
जिसका कोई लिंक है आपके प्रेजेंटेशन का?
हाँ, आपको कॉपी भेज देता हूँ. क्या बोल रहे हैं?
हाँ वही लिंक. अच्छा,
हाँ, प्रेजेंटेशन का लिंक भेज देता हूँ.
I mean, आपका कोई वेबसाइट वगैरह है जहाँ पे?
हाँ, वेबसाइट का भी लिंक भेज देता हूँ. अभी नया एक वेबसाइट का वर्जन आ रहा है, बट जो करंट वेबसाइट है और एक विकिपीडिया वगैरह का है, वो सब अभी वो भी भेज देता हूँ. Anybody would like to say anything more? Anybody would like to contribute in any way? Or anything, maybe it could be over the year also, etc. Then, it's like, then let us know. We'll be very grateful.
Sure. You told about developing material for some courses or something, right? Is this something you're planning in the coming months? Because I'm in December, I'm planning to devote some time in those kind of seva.
Developing material for courses,
or something. I might have heard incorrectly, but yeah.
Developing in this, no, we will develop courses which you could attend.
He wants to contribute his labor, basically.
If you have
He's
a
a
certain area of survey or like a research that you want to study, or let's say if an area where you think you have some expertise or etc., then
I think Prabhu, he wants to help with building courses. If you're building some
so
courses.
if you have a certain area that you are interested in, Arpit Prabhu, then you can tell us. Then maybe we could work out, because we do have research. See, we have for every project we have a research scholar, which is who is an academic scholar from a university. But then we also have some research assistants who typically have either humanities degree, but it could be us also. If you have an interest or something that you want to participate in some way, then that could be done. If you have an area of interest or something, why don't you let us know?
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Then that may be a good idea.
Yeah, I'll reach out.
Right?
Yeah.
So, आप अपना भेजिए मुझे. Yeah. So, yeah, in some way, in some project, etc., you could participate along with some research scholar.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So, ऐसे अलग-अलग areas है basically. As you can see, the project is pretty wide. Later, it will even develop into individual universities, maybe in Mayapur or, even in Mumbai, etc., and all of that. So, a lot will happen in this area. It's a much longer. But even in the short term, whatever can be done will go a long way to develop these building blocks.
Yeah, what I would suggest is, obviously we had a good session, but if everyone can think about one or two things where you can sort of help, or any ideas which you have, then maybe we put it on the WhatsApp group, so that at least, because otherwise I normally see we have a good session, everything feels good, but nothing happens.
इसलिए बोल रहा कि लास्ट का 2-4 और अभी भी अगर कुछ आइडियाज है तो क्विकली भी बोल सकते हैं. Something which comes into your thing, and it could be something token also. It doesn't have to be in one sense. At least, in some way you get connected, whether in some terms of some participation, etc., or whether in terms of any contribution. But even if it is in token in some way, that's another, that's some way you're getting involved with the project. I think you all would basically like it. And I can kind of end there with one more quick thing also. Anybody else anything to say, by the way, before I'll just say one more quick thing. Anybody else who will? Yeah, some participation would be nice, as Rajesh was saying. Vikas Prabhu is there. I didn't hear from him.
No, I'm very much there. Hare Krishna.
You liked it? Anything you would like to add?
No, Prabhuji, I was just thinking, like you made a presentation. I mean, we are just 4 or 5 here itself. So, I am a member of one of the groups, which is UKPC. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's most of the people from UP. And we have a huge group, which is about, I think, 1,000 plus member, or plus at least 500-600 members.
Sure.
So we have annual Diwali party plus Holi party. So now Diwali party is coming on the 18th November. So anyway, I'm coming to the point that, if I can organize something like your presentation
in
which
Zoom,
get more people than just...
No, I mean, you mean in person or in Zoom?
In Zoom, actually, because you're in India right now. So in person,
so in person तो नहीं होगा.
Yeah, हाँ. तो अगर मैं ऐसा कुछ आपके साथ ऑर्गेनाइज करा सकूं, will that be
करिए ना.
okay?
मैं इसीलिए तो बोल रहा हूँ कि ये सेशन इसके लिए नहीं है. As you can see, this message, it is not just about ISKCON in any way. It is really a broader message, and it can be even tuned further to present it in a way which is completely broad.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because it is a temple audience, so I cover some of the temple examples. But it's not a temple audience, then I cover more of the broader examples, because it's exactly true. We are doing that work, Like the Kanchipuram book, it has nothing to do with ISKCON.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's nothing to do with ISKCON. So this is like so there is so much work which is happening here, which is like that. So that will be, I'm sure there are people who, will just come up with an open mind. Anybody with a half a brain will understand. If I want to save the culture, I have to save the wisdom. Everybody wants to save culture. And in one sense, nobody will say, I don't want to save culture. Is there anybody? Or they will at least say, yeah, we should have saved the ancient, education, etc. They will say, why? You save the wisdom, save this literature, bring it to the academia, save the manuscripts. It's such a message. It's almost an undefeatable message in my experience over the last few years. I mean, to different degrees, people can express their interest. But I don't find anybody who will say, who will decry it, who will say, I don't agree with it. That I don't find. That's my point, and so it's a question of to the degree to which they go for. So this is a great way to let people into, into the spiritual doors, as they say. Some journey of theirs also starts because they do a very noble cause. Does that make sense? Does it connect? This is my experience
absolutely.
of the last. This is my experience of the last 2018. Prabhu. It's more than 6. As you can say, it's more than 6 years of sharing about this message. This is my experience. It's one of the most. It is one of those messages which is undefeatable. It cannot be brought up. So let's utilize. That is my idea. So this is not a connection with just the devotees. It's a connection with a much broader audience. So,
Prabhu, I think we will have to all. I mean, at least I have to go now. But
sure.
I think what sort of concrete steps? I mean, everyone has expressed their ideas, right? So it could be good if we can just at least.
So this was great.
Note
this
that
was one
in the
which, as he said,
WhatsApp idea. That's a good idea actually.
या तो एक ये कर देता है यूपी वाला, जैसे आपने बोला, ये वो ऐसे एटलीस्ट
ऐसे एमपी का भी ग्रुप है क्या यहाँ पे, फ्रेंड्स ऑफ एमपी, which I know, so there could be possibilities like that, I'm pretty sure. But if we start sharing on the group, then at least, I mean, Sripati Prabhu there, Manoj, they could not join, so they can also contribute with their ideas, right? At least get the dialogue going, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Already, I got to go.
Yes,
I
sir.
also need to drop.
Yeah, I will just share one more, just a quick thing before everybody drops off. There is another smaller scheme that we also have, just so that people at least just know about it. We have the patron scheme, and we also have a scheme where we let people adopt one Shastra. So they adopt one Shastra. This is just for a broader audience, where people adopt one Shastra, and one Shastra with that certificate, with that name, basically comes to them from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's 100-year-old library. So, this is done for different, either a manuscript. So हमने एक smaller scheme भी चालू किया है, which is starting from $60 to $40 to $25, $15, $7 a month, and that one certificate, one Shastra becomes in your name and nobody else's name, like that. So ये भी एक छोटा वाला scheme है. The idea is that people get connected in some way if they want to work towards contribution. So that's other thing which is there. So I appreciate everybody's time and energy and all of that, and looking forward, and in some way that we can move forward in this journey. And yeah, if everybody can share now or later anything specific, that will be great.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
great, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.